Welcome to another edition of SnapShot. Today I am very pleased to have Shirley English, who is the Chief Executive Officer of the Marco Island Area Association of Realtors, and Dick Shanahan, who is the Board President of the Real Estate Association. So welcome to SnapShot.
Thank you.
Thank you,
I thought we'd start this off by asking some very direct questions, and that is, talk to us a little bit about the last 5 years and sort of give us some background from which we can then launch into where we're going to go in the future. Shirley, that tends to be in your area with the data and statistics. So.
Okay, and actually I do have some statistics for average sale price for the last few years, and it's been pretty stable. And I'll start in 2012.
Okay.
And the average sale price, and this is for all the units, total properties, so it includes houses, condos, and lots, was $436,931. Wow. In 2013, $476,090. So that's a 40% increase. I'm sorry, $40,000 increase. And 2014, $496,323, which is a $20,000 increase. In 2015, it jumped to $574,070. So that was a big $78,000 increase. Yeah. And 2016, we only have first quarter numbers on, but that is pretty much what the average trend has been. Now, as far as units sold, in 2012, and that's been pretty consistent too, that number, 1,425, 2013, 1,500, 2014, 1,550, and then 2015 was a little bit less, 1,468. But again, you can see all that is pretty much in that same.
It's fairly consistent.
Yep.
And we're just completed our in-season section of 2016. Do you have any sense of where that is, either statistically or Dick? You're on the ground. You're the guy that's out there.
Well, statistically, the first quarter was stabilizing. And one thing I'd like to remind everybody, and that is that the real estate industry, real estate sales are cyclical and have been for years and years and years. There's growth, there's stabilization, there's growth, there's stabilization.
Absolutely.
We all remember what happened when we had too much growth and not any stabilization.
Sure.
We had a tremendous bust, a tremendous recession. Now we're in great shape. We've had a good first quarter. It's stabilizing, it's sustainable, and it looks like business is going to continue to be good.
Good. As we go forward into 2017, that's kind of alarming that we're already talking about 2017. But if the market is now stable, of course, I've always viewed Marco as a neophyte. I've always viewed Marco as being a little bit different kind of market than your typical industrial Northeast cities or comparable towns in the Midwest, simply because our population is different. And you might want to talk to that demographic too, in terms of, I believe our average age of our citizen is somewhere around 63 to 67 years old. That's not typical of other communities.
No, hardly.
And people come to Marco as sort of their final home. They come here to retire and to enjoy the fruits of their labor from the previous years. Because of that, we're somewhat different in how we react to market changes than the rest of the country. Dick, would you speak to that a little bit?
Well, I might add that there was a statement made several years ago that Naples, Marco, and maybe Naples as well, it was God's waiting room.
Well,
and it's funny, but it's true.
Yes, it is true.
We continue to see growth, and we continue to see people come. The demographics are changing somewhat. We're getting some younger people. We're getting people that are buying their second homes and maintaining and retaining their homes up north or the Midwest, wherever it might be. So I think we're going to see a continuation of people coming to Marco Island because it is one of the finest places to have a permanent home or a second home in America.
Oh, it's the jewel of the Gulf.
Absolutely.
There's no question about it.
Well, and if I can just add,
Absolutely.
TripAdvisor just came out yesterday,
Ah.
I saw.
New information.
Yeah, and Marco Island, for top islands in the U.S., it was number 8.
Wow.
Now, if you all recall, in 2014, Marco Island was number 1 by TripAdvisor rated in the U.S.
Sure.
and 4th in the world. That was a banner year for people coming to
Oh, I'm
Marco.
sure it
So
was.
Marco will never lose its value because it's always right up there in the statistics. And we did have a lot of
We did.
Mm-hmm.
Adding to
vacations.
that a little bit, we had 2 great seasons in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
13 and 14
You were
were
just back to
absolutely
back, yeah.
sensational seasons.
Mm-hmm.
14 greater than any of the rest of them. 15 tapered off a bit, which is to be expected.
Sure.
It was helped by bad weather.
Correct.
We had the wettest January in history. We had a cool February. And the Midwest, the North, had good weather.
Yes.
So a natural decline.
Yeah.
Sure. But as you said, these things are cyclical.
Yes.
And the weather plays some role in it. But Marco will always be, as will Southwest Florida, be attractive. Our weather normally is consistent. My wife tends to refer to it as tediously perfect. And I think there's something to be said about that.
Yes.
Even our bad weather far outperforms
Yes,
people's
yes, yes,
idea
yes,
of reasonable weather.
yes,
So
yes,
that's good. Given the trends, we've just built a high school on the island, a charter high school. Obviously, we have some young families coming here. Dick, because you've been here for many, many years, and you've known this area for well over 25 years, give me your impressions as to how you've seen that demographic change. I would assume that originally when they were marketing the original Mackle Brothers Marco Island, it was to primarily retirement age people because they could afford to come down, or am I wrong?
Oh, you're not wrong at all. You're right on target. In fact, the great Herb Savage
Yes.
will tell you, of course, that he worked very closely with the Mackle people,
Absolutely.
with Altona, and designed the community. It was for a retirement community, to be intended for a retirement community with only the necessities to serve the
Right.
retired people.
Sure.
Over the years, that's obviously gradually changed, much to the chagrin of a lot of people. However, as you just mentioned, the new Marco Island Academy, all of the growth up and down 951, the growth that's going to happen and is happening in Collier County is going to continue to bring a number of people to Marco Island,
Sure, sure.
both young and old.
Yeah, a nice mix.
Yeah.
And frankly, as a senior citizen, I like seeing young people on the island. I think it gives us vitality. I think bringing young families here makes us a little more normal. And there's nothing wrong with that. And it gives us a diverse population.
But giving you vitality, does that mean it makes you feel younger?
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Along with that, you talked about the growth of the corridor, as I call it, the 951 experience, and we know that is growing by leaps and bounds. And there's projections out there that says that by a certain year we're going to have a population that's almost double, not so much on Marco, but in the area.
Correct.
One concern that people have expressed is about density and how that growth of the corridor, will it change Marco in terms of why we love it now? Will we still be able to love it then? So speak to that a little bit.
Well, I'll just add before Dick does, the estimated, I did find estimated permanent population growth for Marco Island, which does tie into that.
Sure.
And the source is Schimberg Center for Housing Studies at the University of Florida.
Okay.
And so they're predicting, and the current population is about 16,500. So
Okay.
they're predicting by 2040, the population is 19,500.
That's modest
So
growth.
that's very
In
modest.
terms of
permanent
As far as
population,
permanent population on the island,
That's
so
good
as far
news.
as the rest of the relationship with the growth, and then
Okay.
Dick may want to.
Now, with that, you get your seasonal people, but that, and what do we swap to, maybe 34?
About
We go-
40,000.
We go, on a good year, we'll go up to 40,000
Okay.
Yes.
people. Absolutely. So we
That's-
will always
yes.
experience that. I think those growth numbers are very, very easily made, let's put it that way.
Okay.
I don't see
you think they're modest?
I think they're very modest. I
Okay.
think we underestimate the number of permanent residents because most of them, or half of them, whatever the number is, go north or east or west,
Sure,
whatever,
sure.
during the off-season.
Right.
So and again, back to the growth of young people, we're going to get a considerable surge of young people coming to Marco Island because they're now ready to have that second home and ready to establish themselves here.
Well, we're also in a technical age, so people can work in certain industries from anywhere. They're not tied to that plant or that office located in X city. And I think that changes the demographic also.
And there's still a lot of vacant lots,
Indeed.
and so that, and there's a lot of new construction
Sure.
right now.
Well, there's older homes that'll be replaced by
That's
new
a
homes,
trend
too,
right
as well,
now.
and that's-
The
that's
older homes are
typical.
being demolished,
By
right?
the way, that's an ongoing thing.
Sure.
The demolishing the old homes and building bigger new homes.
Yes,
I
yes.
haven't
know it.
seen anything that
Yes.
that you can't consider big.
Right.
I know.
Yeah.
It's amazing to me.
Yes, yeah,
But that's
yeah.
good news for Marco. The only restriction Marco really has, and you and I talked about that a little bit, Shirley, and that is that we have 4 main corridor roads. You can't build more corridor roads.
Correct.
You've got canals and other
Right.
phenomena which restrict that. And because you have 4 main corridors, that is going to some degree keep a cap on how much growth you can have.
Right.
I don't think there's any doubt that we're going to have to, that we are going to grow, but we're going to have to
Sure.
balance that growth with the environment. We're going to
Exactly.
have to live very stringently with our ordinances.
Yep.
And making variances is got to be only out of necessity.
Yep.
And we will have the kind of community that we all want to have.
Exactly. Because there are people that were back here in my father-in-law's time in the 70s, early mid-70s, that loved it for what it was then. And every community is going to morph and change. I mean, there's no question. What makes Marco, I think, and maybe Southwest Florida as a whole, unique, in my opinion, is that we're on water. You have this tremendous weather. And that's a commodity which there's not a lot of available. So you will remain at the cutting edge forever.
That's correct.
You won't
Yep,
see a
yep.
decline in that because
That's correct.
populations grow. There's a certain amount of people that are going to be able to afford having this kind of lifestyle that we all enjoy. And I think that makes your jobs, especially as realtors, very unique. And then it comes down to selectivity too. I think you want to make sure that the people that are coming on and into our community are compatible with the community.
No question about that. And we consider ourselves professional salespeople, professional realtors. We're trained to be professionals. We live by a code of ethics. We are constantly being retrained and constantly being brought up to date. So people should deal with a professional realtor that wears the R.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think that's an important message, Dick. You've been involved in the real estate business here for, as I said, 25, 30 years. You've lived on this island for longer. And between the two of you, this island is now celebrating 50 years as of last year,
Yes,
2015.
correct.
2015.
That's correct, yes.
You both represent 50 years worth of experience and professionalism on this island. So, the good news,
Okay,
bad
I
news.
like how you put that.
But the fact of the matter is that people need to, if they're serious about looking at this marketplace, need to get a hold of your association and work through a professional realtor.
Right, and the local realtors on Marco know the city ordinances, and as Dick had already referenced, the environment and protecting the burrowing owls, protecting other species on the island, and the vegetation, which is very, very important.
That's an interesting balance.
Yes.
Because we have sea turtles that spawn on our beaches at certain times of the year, and the condos are asked to turn their lights off,
Yes.
the outside lights at
Yes.
certain times.
Yes,
They're the burrowing owls.
and the eagles.
And the eagles.
Correct.
And that's part of the charm of living in this
Yes.
kind of environment, is having that kind of natural environment around us. So it's important to find that balance. And I think the Real Estate Association has a lot to do with developing, as they work with people who are coming here for the first time, you know, what we're really about, so that they understand in purchasing here that there's a responsibility on the part of the citizen to.
And our association, the Marco Island Association of Realtors, offers to our members a course, a certificate that they can receive. It's several classes that specialize just in all of that uniqueness to Marco Island.
That's super.
Yeah.
I was not aware of that.
Yep, it's a new course. We've offered this is, I think, the second year.
Okay.
And so it's several classes, but it teaches them about the environment and all the ordinance and the things that are specific to the island.
Can people who are not new to the island take your course?
Any Realtor member.
Okay.
We would give you consideration.
Realtor member.
You know,
That is fascinating.
Yeah.
one thing I would
that's-
like to add to that is that as an association, we are also a part of the Florida Realtor Association.
Sure.
And part of the National Association of Realtors.
Okay.
Each of which has demanding standards for their membership and have to meet those standards and are tested to those standards. So that again reassures people if they deal with somebody with the R, that they'll have a better chance of success than any other way.
And they
that's
have
good.
standards for the associations themselves. So we have standards too, and the Realtors also, as Dick had said. Yeah.
Wow.
So
When I was in the office this morning, I noticed, I looked at the board of previous presidents.
the Wall of Fame.
And the Wall of Fame, and there are some people on there like Marvin Needles. And, and I saw Steve
Oyer.
and
Correct.
a few others
Yeah,
that you know, go way back. Llewellyn is another one. Leonard, and you know, there is a history here of very professional real estate dealings, and I think that is, they sort of set the mark, and then it's just continued on for the
And this is
35,
Dick's
40 years.
fourth
presidency.
term as president.
Yeah.
Fourth presidency, I'm proud to say and delighted to have served that many times.
Well, Dick, you've been a power on this island for a long time, and former commissioner, I might add, and very involved in the area, still are extremely involved in the area. You wear me out.
Well, I'm going to continue to try to do that as well.
You're succeeding. But frankly, Marco's a great place to live. We have a tremendous lifestyle. We have the services that support that lifestyle available to us, and we need to preserve it. And one way we do that is through our realtors, professional realtors, that sort of give us the key on how to maintain that. So, if you would, give our listeners and viewers a telephone number, an address, where they can come to get professional assistance in real estate.
Well, the association itself is located at 140 Waterway Drive. And our phone number is area code 239-394-5616. And I should also promote at the same time our Real Estate Guide magazine. And that one can pick up at our association office, and many of the realtors advertise in that. It comes out quarterly. We print 10,000 copies, so it's all over the island, and it's also located in downtown Naples, and so that's a valuable tool for the public too.
Good. Let's talk a little bit about lifestyle, because Marco, again, is unique. It offers an awful lot to people that have worked hard and want the fruits of their labor, and to come down and relax and enjoy talk a little bit about all the things that people do. We're an active community.
Well, you said it all really kind of, you wrapped it up very quickly there. There is everything to do here. There's something for everybody, regardless of age or physical problem, whatever they might have, they're able to overcome it here. Weather helps that, of course, a great deal.
Sure.
The lifestyle here probably is identified by the fact that J.W. Marriott has decided to spend millions and millions of dollars in representing their product here on Marco Island. The J.W. Marriott logo is the highest in the country, and it brings a very different type of class of people. So that lifestyle has attracted J.W. Marriott to spend $285 billion
Wow.
and bring huge employment and et cetera, tax base, and a great help to people. So I think our lifestyle is becoming famous, if you will.
Sure.
The thing is, again, there is something for everybody to do.
Will you look at the recreational opportunities, Shirley?
Yes, well, you have the boating, as Dick said, boating, sailing the beach, but you also have the Center for the Arts.
Yes,
and the
indeed.
museum now. The museum has been a tremendous asset to this island.
No question.
And so there's the culture is here. You have 2 island theaters that put performances on throughout the year. So there is everything, as Dick had said.
Sure.
You know, culturally, sports, relaxation, all of that.
Recreation.
Yes.
Put a
So
different
it's
way, we all used to have to go to Naples for our
for everything.
cultural activity.
Sure.
Yes.
That's gone.
Now it's
We
Right.
stay
home
right,
based.
Yeah,
we stay
yeah,
right here.
yeah.
Well, and a lot of us that live on Marco prefer to stay on Marco, especially in season. But no, it really, we do have a large venue of opportunities in terms of recreation and culture on Marco Island that has developed as the city has developed. So, Dick, we even have an airport. So transportation, the ability to come here, to leave here at your own leisure, is enhanced by the fact that Marco has amenities that so many other similar type cities don't have.
Well, there's no question about that. Any city in America, major, minor, whatever size, transportation is absolutely essential in their makeup.
Absolutely.
If they intend to grow or continue to grow. We have a great little airport here, and it's much utilized during the
absolutely.
season. It's a private airport, but it's a great little airport. And don't forget, we have an airport up in Naples. We have an international airport in Fort Myers. So we've got transportation to bring people here from every community in America,
Absolutely.
as well as internationally.
Sure.
And it's extremely important. And it's, again, one of the reasons people want to live here. They can come and go.
Well, and we haven't talked about, we have the Everglades on our doorstep.
Yes, yes.
Which
yes.
for many people, naturalists in particular, that is a tremendous draw because you live on the edge of nature.
The edge of the Everglades.
And Rookery Bay.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Rookery Bay.
It's just down the
You have the
street.
Conservancy. You have
Exactly.
all these opportunities that are within an arm's reach of Marco. So,
You know, if I was looking at this video for the first time, I would really want to consider taking a look at Marco Island.
I would hope so.
And living here.
And living
And
here.
ultimately living here. Absolutely. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, again, thank you so much for your
You're
being
very
here today and presenting our viewers with the aspects of Marco that sometimes people overlook when you're here and you take for granted.
And you're right.
And at
Yes.
the same time,
Yes.
we're blessed.
Yes,
I'll leave it
absolutely.
at that.
Absolutely.